What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Voiceovers Podcast. I'm 24K Logan.
I'm King Ronnie. Go on mine.
And today we're going to be giving our review and our reaction to the series finale of Snowfall. It's actually a very special episode for me because he knows that Snowfall is my favorite show. And Franklin Saint and Leon are like two of my, they're amongst my favorite characters in TV history. So it's a special episode for me.
He's one of the people who likes it. I'm one of the people who hated it.
He hated the ending, y'all.
It was not the best.
What was your biggest problem with the ending?
That's smart.
Without too much detail, it's going to be a brief spoiler review because I know there's still people who have not seen it. So, brief spoilers. We'll let y'all know when to skip ahead.
So, you know what I'm talking about. Even if he results to alcoholism, I feel like he would have got off of it.
Well, that's why we get the spinoff, because I think it's a possibility that Franklin Saint returns for the spinoff, just not as a main character. He'll be like a guest, and I think Leon would be trying to help him recover. Leon would try to help one last time, or Franklin will finally come to reality and be like, I need to get my shit together.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. It's one thing about a lot of TV shows. They start off strong, and they don't end off strong, you know what I mean? Or even, because it had 6 seasons, the first 4 were just so solid, but those last 2, even I realized in the last season, I'm like, dang, this season wasn't all that good. But then this season came, I'm like, dang, this season ain't all that good, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yesterday I was watching the Mallory Bros podcast. Shout out to Mallory Bros, one of my favorite podcasters / YouTube channels out there. But when I was watching their episode, one of them was very... Terrence was pretty pissed off about the ending. More so what they did with Franklin. He felt that everybody did a great job with the acting and playing their part, but he was very angry about what they did to Franklin. And I actually understood his point of view because he was like, when you're a film student, you look at things from a different perspective. He was looking at the writing of Snowfall.
Yeah.
The what the writers did in the end of Snowfall. And there was certain points he made that, there was a lot of points he made that made sense. We knew he was talking about how they wrote in Sissy killing Teddy instead of giving him time to give the password, do the transaction, and then kill him. They talked about how the writers might have been too afraid to kill Franklin because he always escaped things.
I would have accepted it.
Well, they were talking early on in the show.
Well, yeah, I know.
But it's like if you kill Franklin early on, you don't really have a show. You do, but you don't. He was the main character. But I guess it would have been better if Sissy waited a little bit. But at the same time, it goes back to what I said. She saved Franklin when you think about it. Because who's to say that Teddy was not going to come back? And this was another great point that the Mallory Bros made. They said, you mean to tell me, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but they were like, if Teddy did all this to Franklin, Teddy had Franklin hanging for dear life in the warehouse before Gustavo came and saved him. Stole his money, $73 million worth to be exact. And now all of a sudden he's willing to make a deal to split the money with him. He felt that was a bad choice by the writers, which I can understand. But I guess they had to make it somewhat interesting.
Yeah. But I feel like they wrote him off, like Franklin, like he lost himself at the end, in which that I understood. Like he lost himself at the end, murdering people. He was basically insane at that point, and he was resulting in alcoholism. So
exactly,
it was pretty dark. It does come with the streets. A lot of people grew up and they seen people fall off like that, and they seen people change their ways and for the worse. So from a older person's perspective, you can understand it because you've seen it before. But as somebody our age, you might be like, "Dang man, how could you do this?" And yeah. But we also had a scuffle back and forth a few days ago because because Logan was like, John Singleton wouldn't, rest in peace by the way, he wouldn't have. I said he wouldn't have wrote that ending, and Logan was like, well, how many times have you seen John Singleton have a happy ending? Because he was only referring to Boys in the Hood. But then I remember Baby Boy came out. That had a great ending.
You kind of
Poetic Justice, that had a great ending. So
those were different. Not to cut you off, but those were different type of movies. You had to. I'm not saying you had to have those endings, but nobody would have wanted to watch Poetic Justice anymore had something happened to Tupac or something happened to Justice.
Well, yeah, but
nobody would have really. I guess Baby Boy, Jody dying at the end would have been kind of realistic, but it was kind of too predictable. And we've seen that in the Hood movies before. Main character getting killed or one of the main characters getting killed. Ricky from Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, but he wasn't a main character. He obviously was like a second main character, but it was really around Trey's story and Trey's life. It was just Trey lost his friend in high school. But
Ricky was still a critical character though.
Yeah.
Because well, go ahead.
And it was like, because he was about to probably go to the military, probably go to college, so he already had his own options out for him. And trust me, that happens a lot in those areas, but he wasn't the main character. It was Trey's story, and Trey still had a good ending. Trey still went to college. He still got out the hood, you know what I mean? So
I mean, ultimately, well, yeah, if you're looking at it from that perspective, that's a great point. Yeah, Trey did get the happy ending, but that's also because he was making the right choices the whole time and really trying to stay away from the street shit. So was Ricky, but because of how things are in our community, that one instance where Ricky got into an argument with Ferris and Doughboy stood up for his brother, rightfully so. Ferris felt some type of way and he let words get to him, which Ricky didn't really say nothing disrespectful at all. And that led to his demise. John Singleton is a realist. And not that Franklin dying or even going to jail wouldn't be realism. It would be, I guess, more realistic, but it was too predictable for him to go to jail or die. I like how they added a twist. And, like I said, with the spinoff, you still leave room for Franklin to come back.
Yeah, but that's the only time I will accept that ending. But, I mean, y'all saw the little Boys in the Hood little reference they had.
Yeah. Shout out to the Snowfall cast or the Snowfall writers for putting that in there. As soon as Leon walked by, before they even showed the guy that was supposed to be John Singleton and the three little boys representing Trey, Ricky, and Doughboy, before they even showed that, they said they filming a movie. I'm like, is it Boys in the Hood?
I'm thinking, I ain't even thought about Boys in the Hood. I'm like, what year was this and what movie came out that year? So,
and then when they looked over or when they shifted the camera over to that, I'm like, wow, that was a beautiful tribute.
It was, bro, but I'm telling you, if that man was still alive, the show would have ended better. And I feel like, and I ain't trying to discredit the show writers or nothing, but I'm just like,
you don't think he would have had Franklin become a bum? That's what you're saying.
I feel like even if he did, it would have been written better. Those last 2 seasons would have been written better. 1 through 4, solid show, all of it, just that's the most replay value right there. But
season 4 is my personal favorite.
But those last 2 seasons, I mean, it was cool. The action was pretty cool, and the choreography was good. But I don't know, man. I'm a person who likes the writing. I focus on the writing aspect.
Yep.
I mean, the acting always acting, but it's how everything's executed. It's how everything's written. So that's why I hated it.
Go ahead.
Because I'm just now liking The Last of Us Part 2. And I hated that game for so many years. But I was watching the HBO show, which I recommend. And
great show.
You ain't even finished it yet. So we ain't going to have that discussion yet.
Yeah.
But
watch 6 episodes.
You got 3 left. You got 3 left. But when I watched the ending of the first season, I'm like, you know what? These writers have a lot of material in their hands. I can tell they still got it in them. So I realized that part 3 of Last of Us might be good. So I'll accept it for what it is. I'm not going to hate on it no more. At least I'm going to try not to hate on it no more. So I even went back to play it and beat Last of Us Part 2. So, and I had fun with it, but certain things I didn't like about the game, but I just forgot about it and I accepted that because I know they can recover. So the spinoff, and not every spinoff show does good. That's the thing. Not every spinoff show is going to do good.
Well, I think the writers understand that with a show like Snowfall, they don't need to fumble the ball with the spinoff. And I think the story, if done right, it'll actually be good because they're supposed to be focusing on the Crips and Bloods in LA during the early 90s and people getting into the music business. Do you think we'll get references to Death Row or that we'll see Death Row?
I mean, we're going to be in the West Coast, so I mean, they'd be a fool not to show some reference to that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, but they have to write the show well. They have to do well. If they don't, then I don't know what to say.
And Wanda has grown a lot as a character. If they're bringing back, well, they haven't confirmed that they're bringing back Leon, but if they're bringing back Wanda, it would only make sense for them to bring back Leon.
I'll tell you one thing though. That reference that Franklin had made was so messed up. Well, what he had, he said, "What she go back to her first love."
That
I was like, "Dang,
oh, man." Damson Idris,
great actor though. He did that role.
He has been magnificent for the entire show, but those last 2 minutes, he was funny. He was emotional. He was a wreck, but he killed it. Shout out Damson Idris. I hope you get an Emmy Award. You were robbed last year. You should have got it.
I'll tell you one thing though. If he does continue to play that role, he will be funny in this spinoff. So that's the only way I will keep him. That's the only way I will keep him like that. If he's just a funny character. But if not, I'm feel bad for this man. I'm like, y'all should never even wrote that man like that. But overall show, it can get like a 9 out of 10.
So the whole show you would give a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, but
like the entire 6 seasons, the entire series of the show.
Series wise, I mean, the first 4 seasons, it's hard to beat that. You can pretend the last 2 don't even. That's why I would get out of 10, but last 2 knocked it down to like a 9.5 to a 9. But it's still not gonna be my overall time top 10.
For me, the entire series, I give it. I don't want to be biased.
Nah, go be biased, bro. It's your favorite show. You have to be biased about it.
If I don't give it a 10 out of 10, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10.
Right.
Because I feel that no season was bad. Season 5 started off slow, but midway through, the pace went up. They did a good job with the ending of Season 5. Season 4 is my personal favorite. The first 3 seasons, that's when the legendary John Singleton was still with us. Shout out to him. Rest in peace. You can't beat those first 3 seasons. Those first 3 seasons I think that's what got people in that conversation of is this or can this compete with Snowfall? I mean, can this compete with The Wire?
Yeah.
Can this compete with Sopranos? That's where that conversation started. And I think it was a valid conversation because those were 3 strong seasons.
Yeah.
But after we lost John Singleton and Season 4 came, while Season 4 was great, I think there was inconsistencies that allowed it to not really compete with those shows anymore. But I do think that I don't know if I would put it in the top 10 all time. I know in our first video I said I would put Snowfall in the top 10 all time. I think I should have been more specific and said I put it in top 10 drug crime shows all time. I still put it in the top 10 drug and crime shows.
But 1000% though, like Season 4, because Season 4, that's when I started The Wire, Sopranos. Dang it.
Snowfall.
Yeah, I started Snowfall Season 4. I remember the little cover art for it. So that's what got me into it. And I loved watching, because I finished those first 3 seasons in like a week.
Okay.
Like I even had school the next day, but I'm still watching the episode. So, but I love Season 4 and I loved everything about it. But the last 2 really won't. I don't know. I got mixed feelings on it, but
Season 6, I think, was a great season. Like, all the way through. I think that was Season 6 was the first time since season 4 where we had a pretty great season for pretty much all the way through. Every episode hit. Every actor played their part. And people would be like, well, it had to be a good season because people started dropping. Uncle Jerome died. A lot of stuff started happening, so of course it's going to be good. It has to be good. Well, you can't really argue against that if that's how it's supposed to be. This is what was meant to happen, so to speak.
Yeah.
So, you don't feel that Snowfall is a top 10 show all time. Where would you rank it amongst drug and crime shows, though? I don't think you can give me 10 crime shows.
That's the thing. I still have to, because one thing I'm focusing on since we started this podcast, I'm going to forever stretch my my variety and everything I've seen. So I'm watching stuff that you might not even know about. So
Yeah.
I don't know where I would rank it in drug crime shows.
Because you still have a lot to watch. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I still have a lot to watch, and I'm not even going to all focus on drug crime shows. I'm watching all genres of shows. That's what I'm be focusing on. But drug and crime shows, even if I haven't watched every last one of them, probably be in the last half of the 10, so like 5 through 10, and not top 5.
You only saying that because of this ending,
I'm
bro.
telling you, but I don't know. I ain't gonna geek it like that.
If he didn't feel this way about the ending, he wouldn't say this stuff. I guarantee.
Man, I'm telling you, man, I'm an ending guy, bro. So
because the rest of the show is damn near perfect with the small inconsistencies that they have.
I'm telling you,
very small inconsistencies.
But yeah, I even got Narcos over Snowfall. I'm telling you, Narcos is a good show. I recommend now. Narcos on Netflix. Please watch that show.
Narcos is a great show. It's not better than Snowfall, bro.
I don't know. We'll see.
Another topic for another day.
When I'm done watching a lot of shows, then we can come back to this conversation.
All right.
But until then, I'm gonna keep Snowfall on a low part of the 10s list. So,
are you looking forward to the spinoff? If done right.
Like I said, I got mixed feelings about spinoffs. So it's all in the first episode. If the first episode's not good, then this show not gonna be good.
What if they actually start off slow with it and then they build into it?
You can't, bro, because then I'm gonna have to come back crawling back, and my expectations gonna be even lower. So if one flaw is off, then I'm probably not gonna like it. But I'm telling you, it's always about how it starts. Like the first episode, it doesn't have to be the best episode, but it has to be worth watching. So you watch the second episode, and then you go from there.
Okay, so
yeah.
That's fair. I see what you mean. Starting off with a bang.
Yeah.
So you can keep the viewers attracted. All right. Well, that was one of my favorite videos that we've done because that's my favorite show. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. More content on the way. We love y'all.
And peace out.